All right. I met this guy when I was living in Portland, Oregon, who was an art handler, which meant he had muscles, which is a nice thing. And he was shorter than me, which I only date short men, just FYI. And I didn't know him that well, and he gave me his card randomly at this party on this rooftop when I was working as like an event photographer. And he never called, and since I'm always the dude in relationships, I called him twice. Who doesn't want to fucking go out with me? Come on. Please. He just didn't know that yet. So we went on a date. And I made him go to an art show at this art school I was going to. Have you ever been to art shows at an art school? Like art by students? They can be. And usually X-rated. At least in Portland. You all have not been there yet. Oh, yeah. All right. Uh-huh. So we went to this art show, and then we left, and my art school was kind of in this warehouse district, and Portland's walkable. News. So Portland's walkable. We're walking, and it's really dark, and the farther we're walking, the less lights there are, and there's all these warehouses. And I grew up outside Chicago, which means I'm scared of everything. They call it survival, but it's just really neurotic. And we're making small talk, and then all of a sudden I take in my surroundings, and I'm like, oh, this is really not it. What am I doing? I would never do this in Chicago. So we're walking, and he makes this joke. He's like, looks like Ray Balley. And I wasn't gonna be like, I was just thinking that. Because he's making a joke. And I just like stopped and I looked at him and he was like, ha ha. He's like, that's funny. Because obviously you have to convince people you're funny. And I'm like, no, that's not funny. I was like, I really don't think that's funny. He's like, come on, my friends think I'm funny. And I'm like, am I dating your friends? And he's like, no, really, it's funny. And I keep being like, no, it's not. So we're walking down Rape Alley arguing about how it's not funny. And finally he's like, if you don't think it's funny, it's not gonna work. And I'm like, well, then it's not gonna work. So then because we know we already bond, we went and we got drinks. I don't even know why we did. We did. We got drinks. I mean, there was no go. We were not gonna go back down that way. So we got there, we sat awkwardly through an hour of drinks, and he kept insisting he was funny, but I insisted he did not share any more humor with me. And then it turns out he doesn't have a car, so I have to drive him home. And right when we get the car, his roommate calls. And he's talking to his roommate all pissed off on the phone. And all I get is it's something about a toilet. So dudes that live together. Okay. No, blank stares. Okay, so he was like, you know, it's 11 o'clock on a Friday night. He's like, you know, can we stop? Like, is there a store around here where I can get like a toilet plunger? And no. He's like, do you? And no. The only thing out of your mouth next is your address, and that is it. So, thank you.